Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, we have discussed about how we want to integrate into our life the spiritual, emotional, mental and physical integration, that the SEMP integration that I want to explain to you, so that when we talk about Islamic psychology and positive Islamic cognitive behavior therapy, you must be able to do and handle many situations in life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed to us in the Quran of the many situations that we're going to face. From our normal life, our normal situation, we also will have to face extreme sadness or extreme difficulties or depression, and also maybe at other time extreme elation and joy. All right, but both of these extreme is not something that is permanent, it is transient. So because of that, we must have a need for purpose and meaning in life, and to bring that into psychology is very important, because whatever therapy that you can propound to any of our, say, modern man humanity, without the belief in a higher order, without the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or God, or whatever name that you want to call the creator, you would not be able to find that balance. And I will explain to you why that is very difficult in my subsequent video. But at least for this video, I will recite the nature of life as mentioned in the Quran. So we must understand the nature of life, our existential question of what life is. Because what life is just not a normal life. We will have to face some extreme situation on the left and on the right. So let's recite Surah Baqarah verse 155. I'll just recite slowly and give you some translation, inshallah. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ مِنْ شَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَأَنْفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ. And surely we shall test you of your steadfastness with fear, with famine, with loss of property and your lives, and the provision that Allah has provided for you. وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. Give good news to those who endure. So this is where Allah tells us that basically we'll have to face a situation of extreme hunger, extreme fear, loss of life, grief. So it is a normal situation in everybody's life. Nobody can escape this, in the sense that, oh, somebody says, he's super rich, billionaire, he never had this problem of hunger. He never had this problem of hunger. Maybe he may have problem of danger. Danger of crashing in a private jet or in an airplane. The fear is there. And none of them can escape the fear of death. The death of themselves or their children, or their premature death of their children, suicidal of their children. There's so many cases like that. So this is extreme sadness, that you can see this whole continuum of the psychological continuum of our life. All right, so Allah tells us that you will face this, and give good news for those who, when face this situation, would be able to handle this. That means they would be able to have a meaning and purpose. What that meaning is, الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةً. All right, when they were afflicted with this calamity, قَالُوا إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. They say, we belong to Allah, and to Allah shall we return. Okay, so they have this spiritual integration with them, that this continuum, this extreme sadness is not a permanent state. All right, it is a transient state so long as we live in this physical world, because the nature of the physical world, they are extreme from either side. Okay, but because of that, we want to lead a normal life. But when we are suddenly faced with this, for example, a loss of our family member, we go to grief. But we cannot go into extreme grief, because if we go into extreme grief, then we live in a depression. So we go into a major depressive disorder, right? So that becomes your psychological profile, and over a long time, that will lead to ideation or suicide. So that's why people at this extreme will have that situation. People on the other side, extreme joy, elation, and so on, they go into a mania state. Right? They have this whole idea of self-grandeur. They think they are God. Right? Just like, all right, you read the Quran of the Pharaoh. He says, I am your Rabb. I am the Lord of the worlds. So he faces this situation of extreme mania. The self-grandeur to the level that he says that I am your God. So there are people like that. So they are not normal. So once you go to this extreme, so you cannot function as a normal human being. So what is important is for us to understand that a normal life will have episodes of extreme sadness and sometimes extreme joy. But if we can take it with the understanding that this is the spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical integration that we want to bring back to the normal life, that is of peace, of happiness, of joy, of iman, of having within the framework of Islam, we have our Islam, we have our iman, we have our ihsan, then we lead a good life, even though we will have episodic situation like this. So, and who are these people? They will get the blessings. Ulaika alayhim salawatun min rabbihim wa rahmah wa ulaika humul muhtadun. And such are the people whom there are blessings. So even though you have a normal life, you are showered with the spiritual blessings. All right, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the salawat, all right, and the mercy from Allah, and they are the one who are rightly guided. So the whole concept of the psychological balance is mentioned in the Quran. So when I'm telling you that if we talk about the psychological balance through SEMP integration, all right, this is something that, inshallah, every Muslim psychologist, life coach, or counselor must understand that you cannot approach a situation by pushing only to the right. Oh, you can have everything, this, that. You know, I mean, sometimes this will lead to self-delusion. So delusional is a major problem in modern world today, especially with children, where they are overemphasized on everything is good, everything is good. So they become weak, they become psychologically weak in the sense that they cannot take even small challenges in life. For example, like failing an exam is not a major thing, but that becomes a major thing now in many developed countries, and thousands of them commit suicide every year, maybe more. Why? Because they are only told about the good news of having achievement, having success, having all the wonderful things in life, without telling that in a normal life, you also have extreme difficulties in some situation, and it's how you bring yourself back to the normal. And this can only be done if you have a spiritual ballast. That's why in positive Islamic cognitive behavior therapy, we must know that we must bring the spiritual element, the spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical integration into all our therapy, into all our work in so far as helping our client to go back to a normal life of peace, of happiness, of joy, of success, of achievement within the capability of a human being, knowing that we are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as His Khalifa on this earth. We are given a task to strive to make ourselves good, helping others to be good, making the world good, and from then, inshallah, we would then be able to return to Allah in the state of iman, in the state of peace, happiness, and success, having the permanency of goodness in the hereafter, where there is no extreme, because in the hereafter is all joy, is all happiness, is all fulfillment, and is all the goodness from the gifts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to all believers in the world, inshallah.